Hey guys, welcome back to Shaki's Corner. It's Shakira over here with a new video. Those that are seeing me for the first time, don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe on this video. And obviously to my returning subscribers, I really appreciate the support that you people give to me. So today I am here to give you guys a story time. Obviously I promised my TikTok followers, my TikTok family, that we're going to be doing these episodes of where we talk about online relationship stories, and anybody can literally come and share their stories. And sometimes I might be having some people that I'm gonna be sitting with so that we can have a one-on-one and talk about these things. So today I have a story for you guys. The main reason as to why I'm bringing this is I have a number of people that subscribe to my channel for the purpose of online dating issues or online dating advice or things like that, and because that was the basis of my channel. And obviously I was like, I don't need to disappoint those subscribers of mine. I'm gonna be posting that kind of content and many and different other types of content. I'm just gonna be being, versatile here and there. So one lady actually came to one of my lives and she was sharing her story to us. The purpose for her to share that story was, one, she wanted us ladies, most especially us that are on the online dating scene, that are planning to join dating apps, that are already there and looking for love, to to get something from it, to pick something from it and learn from it, as we progress with this online dating and things like that. She's from Zambia. Yes, she's from Zambia. So she says she met this guy on a dating app. I think it was Afro Introductions, and this guy was living in the Netherlands. So they talked with this guy for some time on the dating app, like, everything was going fine, the conversations were flowing, they had a connection, they really had a strong connection. That was from the basis of the conversations they had, because the communication was very good. They would talk every day, video call every day, like everything that you look for in an online relationship was present for her to begin thinking that, okay, this guy is into me, this is now a relationship. This guy even told her that he wants to marry her when he comes to to her country. So they talked for a few months without meeting, and then one day, and the guy comes and he's like, I want to get married to you when I come to your country. And the guy and the lady is like, oh my god, like, getting married, seeing you for the first time and you want to get married to me, that does not make sense at all. Like, she was scared, but obviously she also had this thing in her, be like, oh, sometimes maybe it's meant to be. You don't have to, sometimes you can know somebody for years and things don't work out, and maybe someone that you've just known for months, things click, and maybe this is it for me. This is it. This is what I've been wanting. I've been wanting a relationship. I want to get married, and here it is. So let me embrace it fully. So in her mind, she's like, okay, yeah, I think I can do this. And she agrees. She's like, okay, cool, we can get married when you come to Zambia. So time passes by. After around 6 months, the guy finally comes to Zambia. And when he comes to Zambia, he actually really shows the seriousness, like he was really into the lady, because she says, Shakira, I was really like scared when this guy came to meet me. Like I was like, okay, maybe what if he doesn't like me when he sees me for the first time? What if he had this image of me and maybe it's completely different from what he already expected? All of these things that come into your head, they happen all the time. Mostly if you're meeting somebody for the first time. It happened to me too, like when I was meeting my boyfriend for the first time, I had this thing like, okay, what if he doesn't like me? What if, those what ifs. So I understand, like, it's a valid thing, because it happens. So when the guy comes, he shows her that really she is what he really wanted. This is it. Like, he was so in love. That's what the girl said. Like, there was no reason that this guy would give to, show that maybe something's wrong somewhere. And to go back a bit, she says when they were still talking, the guy was actually supporting her here and there, and he was supportive both financially and emotionally. If something happened to her, he would listen to her, he would advise her. Like, this guy was like a god-sent guy. So when he comes to Zambia, when he said that he wanted to marry her, she talks to her parents and she's like, okay, So I met this guy on a dating, okay, she didn't say a dating app. She said, I met this guy, he's white, and he says he wants to marry me. And the parents are like, so have you ever met him? And she's like, no, he's coming here for the first time. But he's real. He's not like, a scammer or anything. He's a real person. And he says he wants to marry me. And her parents are like, how our African parents can be when you come with such stories, they'd be like, this doesn't seem right. But obviously, later on they're like, oh, okay, cool. So the guy comes to Zambia. They go to the girl's family. They pay a bride price, because she actually briefed this guy, like, if you want to marry me, this is what has to happen. This is what is going to happen. You have to pay a bride price. And the guy's like, it's fine with me. So he goes to Zambia and he pays bride price, and they get married both traditionally and the civil marriage. Yes, they also get the civil marriage done, because she says that when he went to Zambia, he spent there about 2 months, I think. Yeah, 2 months. And that 2 months period, I think he came with all his documents, and they processed the civil marriage and everything, and they got married in Zambia, both civil and traditionally. So she says after the wedding, when the wedding was finished, he spent around like 1 week in Zambia after the wedding. Okay, yeah, before the wedding was like 2 months, then after the wedding like 1 week, and then he went back. So during that time when they were processing their civil marriage, because he came with the documents and then they processed everything there. When they were processing, they're both going to this place where they make from the civil marriages, and Uganda would call that maybe NIRA, the registrar, something like that. So the registrar of Zambia, they're going together to that city hall of Zambia and to do everything, like the filings and everything. And then she says there was this one receptionist at that place, and this receptionist like seemed very friendly with the guy. Okay, she says he would talk so much with the guy instead of her, which is not a bad thing though, but sometimes it can be a problem. I understand, like most of us that have had interracial relationships, and your man comes into the country and this lady is talking so much with your man, not you. Obviously you're the one that speaks the same language as her, but so this lady was addressing the man more than the lady herself. And the lady was like, my sister, what do you mean? I mean, I am the one that is bringing these things. He's literally like accompanying me. Why aren't you communicating with me and you're communicating with my man? And the lady is like, oh no, it's just to maybe inform him when things are about the civil marriage process and everything. And the lady is like, you can still inform me and I can relay the message to him. And the lady, she plays her way around it. And she's like, okay, whatever. So the guy is like assuring her, like, oh babe, nothing is wrong, everything is fine, it's you that I want. So she's really assured. And everything goes well, everything goes as planned. They get married. She says that this lady exchanged her number with the guy without her knowledge. So everything was going on, the wedding was going on, she had no idea. So everything goes perfectly, and the guy goes back to the Netherlands where he was living. 2 weeks pass by, and all of a sudden the guy begins to change. Like the mood changes, the communication cuts down a bit. Like she would message the guy and the guy would reply like after maybe hours, or even after maybe 24 hours, after a day, which had never happened before. And remember, this is now happening after they are a married couple. This had never happened before when they were in the talking stage, the dating stage. It never happened before. And the guy is like, what is happening? What happened? What did I do wrong? He just left here. We're still married. It's not even a month of marriage and this is happening. Because remember, first when the guy talked about the marriage thing, she was a bit, nervous, like, oh my goodness, how can I get married to somebody that I've never met and I'm meeting him for the first time and he wants us to get married. But she pushes all of this aside and she accepts it and gets married. And after 2 weeks, it's her whatever she was fearing is now beginning to profess. It's beginning to happen. This guy is now ignoring her. Like, what is happening? What is going on? So one random day, the guy ghosts her for 1 whole week. 1 whole week. The guy left her on read. No explanation, Nothing. So she begins like to get worried. What is happening? What did I do wrong? You know, you understand that what happens like when somebody ghosts you, and most important now, this is somebody that has married you. You're now a married woman. So she begins now having depression, like what is happening. But the good thing is this guy had given her his brother's contact when they were still in that sweet talking moment. The guy had given her his brother's contact just in case she couldn't reach him, she could always reach his brother. So she gets this idea and she messages his brother and be like, what is happening with your brother? Like, what is happening? Can you please check up on him? Is everything all right? I don't understand because he's not talked to me for a week now. I don't understand what is going on. He has not told me anything, nothing at all. So the brother checks on the guy and then gets back to her and is like, oh, he's fine. He just said he needs some time, you know, but he's fine. He said that he will contact you. Remember, this is her husband. So the girl is anxious. She couldn't eat. She was crying every night. She was telling me, Shakira, I was crying. I didn't know what was wrong with me. I was like, what has happened? Remember, this guy has already gone to my parents. He has seen my family. What have I done wrong? So this guy, then later on, out of the blue, he gets back to her after a whole week of no talking, no contact. He gets back to her with just one message: I'm no longer interested. I'm no longer interested. Guys, like, the girl was like, I was shocked. I was shaking. She was like, I was literally shaking because I felt like this was a joke. After 1 week, and the only message that I received is, I'm no longer interested. And she's like, there has to be an explanation whatsoever, because you cannot come from, oh, you're the most beautiful woman, to I'm no longer interested. Not even 1 month of a marriage. And the guy was like, oh, you know, we can always cancel this marriage, blah, blah, blah. The lady was like, you people, I was depressed. I cried. And to the extent that tears were no longer flowing. And obviously, I understand her. So then she insists on the guy and be like, what is happening? Why all of a sudden? Why this sudden switch? Something should have gone wrong, or maybe you had something. Let me know. Tell me, like, what is going on. So after like persuading this guy, like being on him for a very long time, he finally confesses, and he's like, I fell in love with somebody else. And she's like, somebody else? Where? How? When? I mean, you just left here. We just got married. When did you have the time to fall in love with somebody else? And the guy's like, oh yeah, I met her in Zambia when I came. I met her in Zambia when I came. And the lady's like, what do you mean? You were with me almost all the time. When did you meet anybody else? Like, we were moving together, we're doing everything. When did you meet? And then it clicks. She remembers the receptionist and how she was being so friendly to the guy, laughing and doing this and that. And then she's like, okay. So she confronts him with the fact that, is it this girl? Is this so and so? And obviously, after all of this and that, because at first he tries to deny and everything, but later on he realizes it's futile. He cannot deny anymore. And he's like, yeah, I'm in love with her. And I want you to, you know, annul that, like, I want us to get a divorce. Like, and apparently the lady, since she was working, obviously at the, you know, marriage center, something like that, she had already advised him on how he could get a divorce, things like that. And I'm like, wow. So she says, I was literally sad, like I cried. So what did she do? She brought her story to TikTok. And apparently she brings her story and drags this lady on TikTok to the extent that they, I think, sued her for defamation, something like that. Like, this lady was like, I'm going to sue you for defamation. Or I think they actually sued her for defamation, and they had some court process for some time. And she's like, I really, really had it rough. But I thank God that I pulled it through, and it's been a few months now, and I'm healing. She was telling us that sometimes when you meet somebody online, I understand the whole thing of you want to be married, but sometimes maybe you need to wait a bit. Maybe you need to first relax a bit and maybe get to know this person a bit more before you jump into the married thing. Because this is a lady that had just had been on dating apps for a long time and finally thinks she's met the one, and this happens to her. And obviously now on her status she's a divorcee. This is a young girl, you know, who is just in her 20s, and she's a divorcee. I mean, like, you understand the kind of, you know, like, the emotional distress that she went through. She was very strong when she was sharing her story, and she was like, you know, I moved on, I accepted it, and at the end of the day there's nothing that I could do, you know, and it happened. I just wish I could change time and maybe make different decisions, but you know, it is what it is, and life goes on. So really guys, this really brings us back to, you know, how we need to slow down sometimes and, you know, take your time before jumping into some big decisions like marriage, most especially when it comes to people that you've even never met. Well, I understand there's very many people that get married on the first meetings. They have very many clients of mine that come for registering civil marriages and I've never met before. I have no problem with that, but I'm saying if you have, if you're the kind of person that is thinking it and be like, maybe this is it, then follow your instincts. When you feel like something is not right, follow your instincts and go with it. And sometimes your instincts are mostly right. Okay? So anyway, that was our story for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching this video to the end. Obviously, if you have a story yourself, you can always share with me on my TikTok or my Instagram, and we can always come here and we talk about it, and we could always maybe get something to learn from it here and there, so that we help each other in this small community of ours of online dating people. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I love you all. Don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. Have a lovely day. Bye.